It's all about 30 million tons of municipal waste per year in Britain, mostly dumped in landfill sites.
Everybody knows that landfills is a burden for future generations and is not a modern way of waste treatment. The UK is coming from a different angle. It is still allowed to send waste to landfill. Of course, there are national reduction targets, so it will not be the same as it has been in former times. But if you now send waste to landfill, you have to pay the landfill tax.
Waste treatment's an incredibly challenging area for the public sector to deal with. It costs a lot of money and can have a very detrimental impact on the environment. We need to find more cost-effective, greener ways of dealing with waste.
It's all about 50 years' experience in waste incineration. Now's the time to operate internationally.
Working with MVV has been very interesting. Clearly an incredibly experienced organisation from Germany, bringing their experience over to the UK. It was obvious they had a lot of knowledge, good technology and a focus on the detail of the project, and that came through very much in their bid.
We sell the whole optimization along the value chain, starting with waste management, securing the input for the plants, then operating the plants, designing the plants in the optimized point, handle the residues coming out of the process, but also managing the electricity sales or the steam and heat sales for our customers. So we optimize, and that's our main technology, we optimize the whole value chain.
Within MVV Umwelt, we see not the waste disposal part of the business as a primary focus, we see the energy generation part. So energy efficiency is for us one of the main drivers, and this makes a difference between us and our competitors.
It's all about 25-year contracts with the South West Devon Waste Partnership and with the Royal Navy for a site on the oldest and largest naval base in Europe.
I think this is a long journey. We're really still at the beginning. It's a bit like a plane ride, and I think we're still in the taking off phase. You know, this is a long-term project. It lasts, well, the operational period is 25 years at least, maybe longer, 40 years potentially. So it's a long journey. Whatever we do, we're never going to be thinking of it as just a short-term thing. It's always a long-term investment, it's a long-term commitment, and I think a very exciting one.
Devonport is a very sensitive site. We have nuclear submarines based here. We also refit nuclear submarines, and hence security is a very important part of the site. The first thing I had to do was demonstrate to my Naval Base commander that by siting an energy from waste plant at Devonport Naval Base, the plant and the operation would not in any way compromise Naval Base security or the operational output from the Naval Base. Having done that, I then had to demonstrate that there would be significant benefits, particularly in these economic times, and one of the key objectives was to try and make a 20% saving in the utility costs of the naval base, which are absolutely substantial. When it came to discussing and debating it with MVV and their team, what I found immediately, they were heavily driven, very highly motivated people, very professional people, and from my own standpoint, they were an absolute delight to deal with. Yes, they were very taut in their negotiating, which one would only expect, but a very positive team and an absolute joy to work with.
It's all about 19 exhibitions and intense political debate, getting to know, listening to, and informing the public.
Projects like this are always contentious, and it's important that you explain why you want to do what you want to do to the community. From the very beginning, we took it upon ourselves to proactively educate and engage with, and more importantly, listen to the community. So that meant a number of exhibitions initially, newsletters, being available to listen to people, having lines of communication where people could contact us through telephones, through email, through a website.
MVV's background, coming from the city of Mannheim, It was very clear that they understood the culture of working with public sector partners and the challenges that we have to deal with and the needs we have to engage with the community and get those messages across.
It's all about 3.5 years and 50,000 pages of hard work before the contract was won and planning permission granted.
The main mentality you need for such a process is endurance, endurance again. You need a lot of power in your team, and very important, you need a tolerance against frustration.
So you can say we more or less, with 10 people from Germany and the UK, we lived together for 3 weeks. Over the weekend, working more or less day and night, always in the evening, pizza, nothing else, so it was pretty unhealthy. But the mood was very good, we had a good atmosphere and we were working for the same target.
It was really interesting, but at the end we got the right decision, and that's the main aspect. And we're happy about that, We fought roughly 3.5 years for that decision. So it's the major step ahead. Not the last one, but the major step.
It's all about an energy from waste plant for Devonport, setting the new benchmark in England with high-efficiency CHP technology.
In Plymouth we had some guiding principles for the choice of the technology. So it was safety, reliability, reduction of the environmental impacts, and last but not least, high energy efficiency. A standard energy from waste plant without CHP has a net efficiency of 23% roughly. Our plant has in the same mode without CHP more than 27%, and in CHP mode roughly 50%, so more than twice as much energy.
This project is probably unique in the annals of the UK waste management industry in that it is truly CHP, truly combined heat and power, and very efficient in the process. It really does recover as much energy as possible from the waste that's coming in. And that means, from an environmental point of view, from a sustainability point of view, and from an economic point of view, it really is one of the best projects around.
Resources, innovation. MVV Umwelt. A new milestone in Plymouth.